Well, first of all, I appreciate everybody being here, and what an awesome week. Obviously, we had a heartbreaker at South Dakota State, but like I said after the game, I love the opportunity. I just didn't like the outcome. But then to follow that, come back, all right, we had a great practice yesterday, and that's what we needed. There's some things we got to work on. But couldn't be more happy about my team. I love my team. I love the opportunities in front of us, and then obviously I love the future. With a huge signing class that now is done. We're bringing 4 special young women that are going to balance our team. But most importantly, not outside of basketball, but who they are as people. One of the biggest things every one of them told me is their love for Mississippi State and how excited they are to be a part of this community. And then a shout out to my social media Mississippi State fans because they felt that love. That's the beauty of social media. There's goods and bads. But with here and our brand, our fan base is like no other. And for the fact that the love that they show them just solidified the reason of why to come to Mississippi State. Because again, women's basketball matters. So again, just happy with where we're at. We're going to continue to get better, and it's a great time to be a Mississippi State women's basketball player.
Colin, go ahead.
You guys don't have a lot of true road games in your non-conference schedule. How was it to get that experience playing against a tough team in a tough environment?
Yeah, it was awesome. It really was. I got to give a lot of credit to their fans up at South Dakota State. It's a great place for women's basketball. It's very unique. The band is literally right beside the bench, which is not the norm across the country. They had it's almost like it's a perfect size arena. What was the total attendance? Do you know off the top of your head? 4,000 or 5,000 at that game. It was rocking, and you want that, right? As a competitor, that's what I want. I don't want to just go and just get an easy win because we all understand in the SEC how tough this conference is. So with me and all the new pieces, we need to be tested early, and we were. And we had a chance to win. That's the best part about it. And unfortunately, we didn't, but that's the beauty of basketball and sports. There's a lot of life lessons that you take from that, and we did. One thing that we've been harping on the last 3 games is we got to rebound. And guess what? We didn't. And unfortunately, that cost us. Hopefully we'll see here Friday and Sunday a better rebounding performance. But I'm a coach that let's find out what we're doing well. We had a lot of great fight in the team. We were down. We had adversity with the refs, and 2 of our starters were in foul trouble. But I had a bench that fought through that. And came back in some tough situations. So I couldn't be more proud of the team I got. And then, like I said, let's fix the weaknesses.
How much of these first few games are about the players figuring out their roles and you kind of figuring out substitution patterns and who needs to be in there with who and all that?
Yeah, I definitely. That's all that what you just said. It's all that. It's us getting a flow. We got a lot of unique storylines. We've had kids who haven't played in a year who just need to play. We have Danae Carter who's coming back from an ACL who just needs to run. We have new players who are learning a new system that just need more games so they can learn the reads. There's some things that we ran that we watched the film yesterday that was just about more spacing and making some of those reads that we could have got easier looks. So we're just like probably anybody in the country. It's early, and then each game we just try to get better.
How would you kind of assess your players' response to you? Because you're still, a couple games in here. You said the practices were good, but you were talking about the rebounding and things you need to work on from South Dakota State game. How have they kind of responded to you in practice, you think?
Well, I would say great because of yesterday's practice. It was awesome. Because again, if we're playing basketball, let's make basketball basketball. I think sometimes in sports we get caught up in who scored and all this, but for us, we looked at it as a whole. We could have made some better passes. We had some defensive closeouts that went against us. We had some execution breakdowns that were unlike us. So I'm happy about where their mindset is after a loss because that's what you want to see as a head coach. All right, when adversity hits and you get punched in the face, how do you respond? And we had a great practice, so we'll see where this takes us this weekend.
Robert or anything else?
Talking a little bit about this recruiting class.
Yeah.
I know when you first arrived, you had a lot of recruiting work to do. Hit the ground running. When did some of these players kind of get on your radar and start profiling them and what they can do for your team?
Well, this summer, I mean, I came in kind of the back end. I knew a lot of them. That's the fortunate thing. Like I talked about at Louisville, where we recruited a lot of great players across the country. So those relationships that I had and the work that I did prior to being the head coach carried over to here. Especially with Jasmine. Jasmine was a kid I talked to all the time from Illinois, who we signed. I was the lead recruiter, so then it helped me as being the head coach to get a kid from that area to come down here. And then Miracle has always been a kid I've loved. I know her, she's one of the top AAU programs in the country. I've watched her, and then it was more me, the passion on the phone, and then also a need, a fit here, because we're losing 2 dynamic guards. So she was bought in there, and it just fell in place. It was a perfect fit. But one thing I really want to do is give a shout out to my assistant coaches. I've got a great staff, and that's what I've talked about when taking the job. I'm only as good as the people I work with, and I'm very fortunate to have an assistant coaching staff that grinds, that loves living here and is bought into the vision just like I am to get this back to its glory days.
Anything else, Coach?